Welcome to the InGeneral podcast. My name's Jack, and I'm joined with the original trio, Chris and Asees.
I'm back. We're all back.
They're both back. Last week I took the podcast solo, and
well, yeah, what was really cool is he did an imitation of me. And
I think I nailed the voice.
it was stellar, man.
I like dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I keep dinosaurs.
Oh, I like dinosaurs.
Christopher.
There he is. I can't tell which one's which. No, yeah, it's not bad. I managed to mimic the sound of the AC in the background. And
I didn't have an AC on in the background.
It's pretty good. You weren't there. How do you know? It's good to have you back, though, Asees. We missed you last week.
I miss you boys. I love talking to you guys.
Yeah, we were wondering what happened to you. We just kind of kept waiting and
story.
waiting and waiting, and then we're like, you know what? Let's do it.
We can't wait no more.
I was on death's door, man. It was awful.
Yeah, but you're okay now. You're not on death's door now, right?
No,
You're in the
doing
backyard.
good, yeah.
You're in death's backyard.
I passed him. Yeah.
Yeah, you dominated the house. You took over.
Hell yeah.
Guys, so if you're listening on YouTube, you'll already know that we have moved. So we moved to the InGeneral podcast to its own dedicated channel as we, as we continue to make the podcast. It makes sense. So if you're not listening on there, but you were subscribed to us on YouTube, then make sure you head to the new channel. The link is in the description of whatever you're listening on, I guess. This is a poor advert for the new home.
Tell your friends, tell your family.
Yeah, spread it round. We're aiming for 1,000 subscribers. As a mark of authenticity.
You know what? Go to your mom, go to your dad, go to your sister, grab your phones, go to the podcast app, subscribe to our podcast, and give the phone back.
And also, make sure you stay subscribed to our regular YouTube for video content.
Exactly.
Lots of video content.
You want him to stay subscribed? I've been telling him to unsubscribe
Yeah,
from the Outpost channel, and then
No, but if you are listening to this elsewhere, like outside of our YouTube channels, you should go subscribe to Jurassic Outpost. We have been putting out frequent videos with a lot of alliterations in them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher's special stuff.
We have fun. But yeah, the podcast is on its own channel now, which makes sense for the podcast as we continue to, as we approach Dominion, I guess. There's going to be a lot of content from the pod. A lot of podcasts, a lot of episodes, and we're doing them, you'd say bi-weekly, right?
Yeah.
Bi-weekly? Is that the term?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bi-weekly.
Every 2 weeks. Bi-weekly.
Every 2 weeks. Lee. Every 2 weeks, Lee.
You mean there's 2 weeks with podcasts between them?
You stay out of it.
Oh, you Desky. You Desky. We got to get him
Desky.
up on the banner.
Oh my
get
god,
him
please.
up on Jurassic Outpost. In fact, we should. Why isn't he there?
I don't know. We got Paul.
We got Paul Kirby. We need you, Desky.
We do.
Nash,
you know what? We do
Cooper.
need to change our YouTube channel banner. Finally, I think.
Strong
I think
disagree.
Paul has sat there staring long enough.
Hard disagree. But yeah, we probably should.
Too.
Maybe we should change it to Amanda Kirby.
Just
Heck
get
yes,
that
I love
shot of
JP3
Billy.
Love.
Get that shot of Billy where he's just cracking up in the background.
Honestly, arguably, Jurassic Park 3 is the best one.
Yeah, I think so.
It
You know,
would
I've argued this before. I can do it again.
Yeah, I mean, you argued us into totally changing our views on the franchise. I mean, Jurassic Park 3 is the best one.
Honestly, I mean, Jurassic Park at this point, I don't even think it's a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's so old,
It's old. It's got animatronics. Ew.
It's like you can tell
I
it's
don't know what's going on here,
90s.
boys.
It's like the first two, especially, are just terrible. I think
the second one's pretty garbage.
Yeah, I think the only one that is good is Jurassic Park 3, and then obviously Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom are like Academy Award winners. So it's
I don't like this lumping of the two movies together. I don't like this. This is an attack on my character.
So
Battle at Big Rock turned 2.
Did it?
Yes.
And the toys turned 3.
Yeah, right. No, I think they like turned 2.5.
Geez.
But Battle at Big Rock turned 2. I felt like throwing that in there.
Colin's best Jurassic work.
I mean, no, I really do like. I really wish it would have got
man.
more love. I wish that it would have been a little bit more supported. And I wish we would have got more like it. I thought that it set the tone for like some cool in between installments between then and Dominion, and it just has not happened. But
shouldn't have been a one-off.
Yeah, I haven't watched that in a minute. I kind of want to throw that up on my
watch
TV
tonight,
later.
man.
Yeah, throw it up. Watch
It's
in
so
4K.
good, though. It's so good.
And it's got that the acoustic guitar version of the Jurassic Park theme at the end. Now it's got the full credits version.
Heck yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very nice. It is a very... It really did set the tone for what hopefully we can expect more of in Dominion.
Yeah,
it's looking like it, man. From what you guys have told me and what people have said about the footage and stuff, like it seems like it.
Yeah, I mean, what we've even seen the battle at Big Rock Allosaurus. We've seen that on early Dominion merch leaks. So, I mean, that design was carried forward. I mean, that makes sense. It'd be weird if they changed it again or didn't acknowledge it. So that makes sense.
Hey, do you guys see? It reminded me so obviously the IMAX footage that's out there is prehistoric. But did you see what we shared on our Twitter recently?
No, I haven't even seen the footage first. Like,
you haven't seen the footage, but
no, I haven't.
So,
Aaron, I'm amazed you have not watched it on YouTube.
I haven't. Well, it's not on YouTube, right? It gets taken
sure, it
down.
is.
Like, really?
I mean, it gets put up and taken down constantly.
Wait, exactly. You haven't seen the full thing, Asees?
No, I've just seen remember last.
Do you want to see it?
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, there's versions of it out there.
Yeah, like everyone and their uncle has it now.
Yeah.
Jeez, I haven't seen any of it. I've seen a couple stills. And
we sent you screenshots, I think, when we were
exactly
one of the podcasts.
Yeah, we got those live reactions.
I don't have a link, but it's out there. We can try.
Yeah, I'm sure after this we can Google it.
I've seen it. It does pop up on YouTube now and then, but as Chris said, it gets taken down. Yeah, it's a shame because it's not a real version. It's filmed, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to see a crappy version of what seems to be really good CGI and stuff.
Yeah, I'd wait then. I genuinely would wait because it's such a gorgeous scene. You know, it's such a great sequence.
You don't want to see it. 5 minutes long too.
Yeah, it's 4 minutes in prehistoric era and then about 1.5 minutes in modern day.
Wow,
very cool stuff.
I can't believe we live in a time where people have seen Jurassic stuff and some people haven't. It's such a weird thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the CinemaCon as well. As we said in the YouTube video, it makes sense that we haven't seen that because it is CinemaCon. It's designed for, but
it's just weird that we read about it, and when we read about it, it wasn't a leak. It was actual just press cover. It's this is
spoiling
weird.
A bit too much.
It sounds like a leak.
Dilophosaurus return.
Yeah. I can't believe that they put that in there. But anyways, beating a dead horse.
The IMAX footage is something that by now should have been accessible, or they should have done a wider theater run, not just IMAX.
So when did this footage come out?
The IMAX footage?
Yeah.
June.
July.
So, by now, people like me, people like other people across the world who can't have access to cinemas or are busy or whatever the fuck, we should have been able to see this by now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. It should or a cut down version, a more teaser maybe a 90-second version of the 5 minutes of footage should have been made. I think that there is a lot of ways that they could have at least shared more than the 5 seconds that are on YouTube officially. Yeah. But again, I don't know. I just hope that it won't be long until they ramp up the marketing for Dominion. And I mean, because it seemed like they kind of keep teasing ramping up the marketing between the IMAX footage and then nothing afterwards. And then the CinemaCon talk and then nothing afterwards. It's it keeps losing its own momentum, but it seems to keep setting the idea that they want to start gearing into it, and then it's half baked. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I definitely want to see more about this movie very badly. At the same time, I would love to go into it as blind as possible. So it's a weird it's a weird paradox, I guess.
So did you, speaking of this IMAX interesting, did you see the post we shared, Aaron? So we met Aaron at the Philadelphia event. I don't know if you guys remember.
Way back when,
we
2016.
met Aaron. He told us he's not a social media guy. He is one of the, I only go to JurassicOutpost.com. Still a website guy. Nice guy. Anyway, he wrote into us.
Well, he does have social media now.
Now he has social media. I think he always did. I think he just didn't use
it.
But anyway, he sent me an email and he was like, "Hey, check out my tweet. It's very, what do you guys think?" Basically, so we shared it, and it seemed like he either predicted or gave Colin the idea for that intro scene. It's a very, it's.
Do you want to read it?
So I'll read it out, but we retweeted it with saying, Aaron really cracked the egg on this one. What are the odds? Are you a time traveler? What else were you thinking? So his 2018, June 27th. Now, there's obviously all the possibility that Colin had already written this scene for Dominion. Maybe it was going to be included in
This is so
Fallen
fun.
Kingdom. This is 2018.
I love it.
The pre-credit scene is set in the Cretaceous period. An adult T-Rex takes down prey in an epic battle and perhaps feeds her young. She looks unmistakably like Rexy, the T-Rex from Jurassic Park. The scene is meant to portray dinosaurs in a natural setting, as they once were. The camera zooms in to reveal a mosquito drinking the T-Rex's blood. We suddenly realize that this is the original animal from which Rexy was cloned. And then,
I love this.
Next, we snap to modern day as Rexy, newly escaped in California, is having some sort of negative interaction with humans. This scene is meant to show Rexy's unnatural existence in our modern world and to garner sympathy for her as a fish out of water type scenario, etc., etc. Very
That's shockingly close.
It's
Oh my
yeah.
God. Wow.
It's so close. And obviously, as me and Chris discussed, when this email came through, it's one of those things. Like when I was making music videos and things like that, those King's black and white ones, we obviously look at a load of inspiration and then you make the video. And it's not until that something was published and then we'd watch something just randomly and be like, did they take that from us? Like from some like no view thing?
Maybe.
And then we realized that came out before, and it's like, oh, maybe we did see that, and it just baked itself into my subconscious. And when we were concepting
I see what
our
you're
own
saying.
project, it was like, how about we do this? Like, I don't know why that would look cool, but I think it would. And as they say, nothing is original anymore. But with how much we consume media, there's so much stuff that gets taken in that we just don't realize is in there. And when you're in a creative zone and you're trying to put these ideas out, you can't credit each one because you don't even know where it came from. Half the time,
You don't even realize you're pulling it from an idea that already exists, like that you already read. And in which case, if Colin did read that, or if Emily did read that, and they did accidentally end up referencing it, I do think the answer is it was an accident. Like, I don't think they
100%.
purposely stole it from somebody or anything like that. I think that
especially because
like,
the evidence is right there on Twitter. And
it's one of those things where
everybody knows
your
mob
subconscious,
mentality on Twitter.
your subconscious latched onto it, and then like a year later, when you're writing the movie, the idea, you forget that you read this idea, and it kind of formulates in its own form. It's like, hey, it could be an entire coincidence, or more likely, it might have been one of those subconscious, like it kind of latched itself onto the back of the head and kind of came out in a new way eventually. Either way, it's just really kind of funny to look at.
And there's every possibility, as you said, that
it
Aaron
just
came
could
up
be
with
a coincidence.
this idea. Colin also came up with the idea of let's go prehistoric because it makes sense. It really does make sense.
Mm-hmm. I like Aaron's version more though.
Yeah, would have been cool seeing the T-Rex.
No, I do because it doesn't have the Giganotosaurus fight. It doesn't have the anachronisms of dinosaurs living in the wrong time, and it's more naturalistic. The idea is to show them in the world. I love the idea of a T-Rex hunting and then feeding its young.
That's really cool.
That is very natural.
Everything else about the intro, I love.
Aaron for Jurassic World 4, I guess.
I guess let's bring it all the way back. Yeah.
What else you got, Aaron? But it's such an interesting tweet.
That's shockingly close. It's like scary.
Yeah,
it is a little bit, isn't it? Yeah, it's funny
inconceivable.
Though, but, come on, everybody! If you could just go at Colin's Twitter, tag him, and ask him what the hell's going.
God, don't do that!
Please stop. Stop tagging Colin and everything.
Leave him alone. Let the guy work.
Funko Jurassic World Legacy game.
Heard of it?
Talk to me.
You talk to me.
Well, I'll talk to you. Both, I guess. What is this? Like, it looks cool. It didn't don't they already have like a Funko Jurassic Park game? I remember seeing like something with.
No, you're thinking of Mondo when they had a Jurassic Park board game that they were making that was announced at JP25. No.
I have a Mondo Jurassic Park game, the Flash one with the Muldoon and the Raptors.
Yeah,
but no,
I thought Mondo cancelled their game.
They did. They came out. They came out with a different game.
That's really cool.
Okay. Well, I don't know anything about this Funko game except that it's called Jurassic World Legacy, which, as you pointed out,
give me a minute. I'm pulling it out from Funko.
I'm pulling something.
As you pointed out, the word Jurassic World Legacy, the title, Jurassic World's Legacy is Jurassic Park.
So like when I read like Jurassic World Legacy, I'm like, do they mean Jurassic Park? I don't know. But so there is a description of the game, and maybe Jurassic World Legacy is more than Jurassic Park. So here's the description of the game from Funko Games directly. And to be clear, Funko Games is a publishing label that extends beyond their pop art style. They publish a lot of games that have nothing to do with the things that you typically associate with Funko, and this is the case of this game. It has nothing to do with Funko Pop or anything like that. But anyways, Jurassic World Legacy, title pending. An all-new original Legacy game from an all-
You messed it up, boys.
Jurassic World Legacy, title pending. An all-new original Legacy game experience from Prospero Hall, which spans from the inception of Jurassic Park through the entire Epic franchise. And it comes out summer 2022. So what I think it is the game is going to span from the original Jurassic Park to Lost World, JP3, Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, and Jurassic World Dominion. And if that's the case, Jurassic World Legacy as a title does make sense. Although, might I suggest Jurassic World Generations?
No, you may not.
Absolutely not.
Because I think that because it's not, if it's not just the legacy, if it's like the entire franchise, it's not just the legacy of Jurassic World, it's the generational saga. Jurassic World Saga, Jurassic World Generations, I don't know.
Yeah, no. I don't know.
Especially because, I don't know. I mean, they literally trademarked Generation Jurassic, so it's sort of brand synergy there.
I don't really know what else you would call it.
I don't know. I don't feel like
It's an
Jurassic
easy
World
name.
Legacy. I don't think Jurassic World Legacy feels like the right name, but that's me.
We don't know what the game is. We'll find out once we find out
Well,
what the game
again,
is.
it's an all-new epic strategy game spanning from the inception of Jurassic Park through the entire epic franchise.
So do you think like each level
how
or
would you do
something
this?
is a scene from the, or like is the one of the films?
Yeah, I'm guessing like it's a board game with a map, and maybe like each part of the map spans like
one movie or something.
different event. Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting,
The game piece that they showed is it's in that trailer actually. That little T-Rex like statue that's like breaking through the fence. That's one of the game pieces.
It does
I feel
look
like
very
Monopoly
cool.
then.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see what it's like. They have a lot of. They're actually Prospero Hall designed that Jurassic Park Danger board game.
Oh, I remember Jurassic Park Danger. We played that at
Yeah.
25.
Yeah, so they designed that game. So that's the type. Like this is like a strategy game. Jurassic Park Danger used cardboard cutouts and not plastic figures. So this seems to maybe it's going to be a higher budget strategy. Maybe it's like Risk.
That'd be cool.
Instead of different continents, it's like different eras of Jurassic.
Well,
I
the
don't know.
Mondo game is kind of like that. Like it has like kind of, but like not really. But it's
Yeah,
like,
what is it? Unmatched, the Mondo
yeah,
game.
It's like Match 22 or something, like Match something. Yeah, it's like the.
I think
really
it's
cool,
I
though.
think it's Unmatched. Yeah. Yeah. No. I mean,
maybe.
I like the art I like the figurines and the art. So
Yeah, that's
cool
all we've
game,
got
man.
so far, isn't it? A couple of teasers, like little.
yeah, we got. I mean, they put a
Samples.
CGI trailer. They put out a CGI trailer for a board game. So I do feel that they've got a lot riding on this one. Like it's definitely going to be like probably like their premium board game experience or whatever.
Who would do a
so
big
I imagine
CGI
this one's
high budget trailer for something that isn't that? You know, who would do that?
like. I mean, I'm guessing that they're putting a decent amount behind it. So, yeah. I'm excited to see what it is. Yeah, I'm looking at the Unmatched. It is called Unmatched from Mondo.
Yeah,
The
okay.
little raptor figurines are nice.
Dude, Muldoon's cool too. Like the cards
Yeah,
themselves.
that's a
the
very
art is
small
really cool.
game. That's like
Yeah,
the
it's tiny.
yeah, it's like meant to be like a 2-player game or whatever.
Yeah.
I imagine this other one's maybe a little bit bigger. I don't know. I'm excited to see what they have. It'll be curious to see if they're trying to compete against the Jurassic World miniature war game, which has still not come out. Remember there's a Kickstarter and they've got like 20 different expansions, and it's just the biggest. Like they've got like all these different things, all these different dinosaurs. The game board looks insane. They have all these expansions. It's not out yet, but I wonder if this is supposed to like compete in that realm of like proper like full-on miniature. I don't know. I guess we'll see. I'm excited. I guess it's hard to get people to play board games sometimes.
I love board games. Yeah,
but when you can, they're fun.
Yeah, board games can be great. Like Monopoly.
the most
We should get
aggressive
a,
slow motion game ever.
Jurassic World Dominion launch
Aggressive
party.
slow motion game. Yeah,
If
the game to make you hate your family.
if traveling restrictions go down, we should get a Jurassic World Dominion launch party for the premiere,
I
and then all
wish.
get together and play the games.
Board
Play
game
board
launch
games,
party.
stream them. Just stream 24/7. Set it up where there's cameras. Let's get an Airbnb, have cameras strategically
Oh my
set
god,
around,
yes.
and just
A
stream
party house again.
24/7. Just
Yeah,
party
dude.
house, but this
Yeah,
time with cameras.
Proper
everywhere.
game cameras as well above the board, like
Yeah.
bird's eye. Proper set it up.
24/7. It
People
could just be us walking to the fridge at like 3 a.m. Stumble into the fridge.
Hungover, just trying
Yeah.
to survive. Yeah.
What do you-
Wow, we should do this. This would be a cool idea.
Asees with his cream pie. Come on.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
god.
Come on. Guys, I know that Chris wanted to say something about captives.
Huh?
Captives.
What is this?
So no, if you follow the collecting sphere, captives are the little mini dinosaurs that are like the blind bag figures. They're in the little eggs, with slime and whatnot. There's a few waves that are out there.
Nickelodeon slime. You have to say.
Yeah,
the full-
they're hard to
Slime
get.
form,
They've
yeah,
been hard to
safety
get in the
form.
United States, but they're slowly making their way out to different retailers and whatnot. Anyhow, there's a new wave. Some information has come out from a new wave called the Clash Edition, and I will say there's going to be even more information soon. Stay tuned to Jurassic Outpost for a little bit more on that. Very soon. Like very soon. Some really exciting stuff there.
Like tomorrow.
Even though some stuff from Wave 1 has been shown, it's only Wave 1. There's another wave of the Clash Edition, which people have not seen yet. And also, I'm going to hold off on covering it until like it's technically when we were supposed to cover it. But yeah, no, there's some cool, exciting stuff.
Remember, waves
happening
come
there.
in 3, guys. Waves
Yeah.
comes in. Waves
Except
come
for-
in 3s.
Except for in this case, it comes in 2s.
Well,
Ones and twos.
But
waves do come in 3s, though. Everybody knows that.
Anyhow, Jack, I mean, you know well enough that there's some exciting stuff happening there. We've been
No idea what you're talking about.
no
mate.
idea.
This is a great time to, shut up and move on. So, theory. So let's talk.
Great transition.
I want to talk about. I want to go back to board games and remove the word board and just talk about games. There is a
Wow.
leak that's come out that is 100% fake.
Leak. Yeah.
We like to say leak. This is one of the classic 4chan bait leaks that comes and tries to bait people like me and people like Chris and people like, I don't know, other people, other
Clayton.
sites, Clayton, to make a video about this leak. But just to preface this is fake. However,
It's 100% fake.
sounds awesome.
I mean,
I don't know what this is. I can't
the
wait to find
fake.
out more.
The rumor, and again, this is all fake, is that Creative Assembly, the studio behind Alien Isolation.
Alien Isolation. Wow.
Yeah, great. They're working on there was like a leak on GameStop or something like that. They created a game called The Lost World Jurassic Park.
Yeah, fucking right. Get out
Yeah,
of here.
yeah, and like it's rated M, and like it was like, oh, there's
Who would believe
dismemberment.
it?
Which, by the way, I do not want to play a Jurassic game with dismemberment when you're shooting.
No,
like,
I think
God,
some people find it. I mean, I know sarcasm is lost. Like British sarcasm, I know gets lost, but like people.
Oh yeah,
really,
people read you as serious very often.
Yeah, I think people really think that I want to blast. I mean, on the last podcast, I was asking you multiple times, Chris, if you wanted to blast a dinosaur in the face.
No,
I'm
you
like,
don't. No one knows. No,
No,
That's not what- that's
obviously
what we
not.
want.
I don't want to shoot a dinosaur, but I kept asking Chris multiple times, "You're going to blast a dinosaur in the face?" And I think some people think I'm serious, but to confirm, I'm not serious. I don't want to blast a dinosaur in the face.
When we all say we want a more serious game, we're not saying we want
Cool.
like
No.
when we say we want a game like Alien Isolation, we're not saying we want a game in the same tone as Alien. We're like, a franchise that's very ingrained with like body horror and everything like that. We don't want that for Jurassic. We just want a game that's more serious with gameplay mechanics like Alien Isolation of discovery and survival.
And we
Not
often
this-
say it's not just Alien Isolation as inspiration, things like Last of Us, yes, which again is like murdering zombies. But
Tomb
most of
Raider
the time, if you
or
play Last of Us
Uncharted.
correctly, you're avoiding zombies. You know what I mean? You don't just
Tomb Raider.
blast those zombies in the face.
Tomb Raider's a good example. Yeah.
Tomb Raider, I think, is
Yeah.
a great example.
Yeah.
Uncharted, the Uncharted games, another great example. Which is also-
Uncharted's great inspiration for that.
Yeah,
but
that
basically,
sort of sense
this
of
leak-
adventure.
Details on survival action horror Jurassic Park game by Alien Isolation team. Semi-open world first-person game, which is what Chris always says when I say I want open world. You say, well, semi. I want a semi. That's what Chris says. And then
everyone wants a semi.
Everyone's got a semi. And then the title
always.
is Lost World Jurassic Park, which why the hell would they call it? Let's release a game and call it Jurassic Park 3. No, it's nothing to do with the third movie. We're just calling it that.
But I love how this entire fake leak is like, oh, it's got a cover art on GameStop. It's got a rating somehow. This game's in development, but somehow it's already been rated by the ESRB.
And it's got Sega on the box. But they genuinely, I think they're trying to bait people like us. They're trying, because it's got all the things we say. And Lost World is the best.
Sort of, but it's got all the things that we say. It's got all the things that we say, but in a completely misinterpreted way.
Yes.
It's gory and anyhow. Real quick side note. That's entirely bogus. But for a little bit of a history lesson, something very interesting.
I love history.
In 2018, Universal Games approached Creative Assembly, or maybe Creative Assembly approached Universal Games. And they began to have meetings. I believe at 2018 E3, they began to have meeting with potential publishers. It was a very rough outline. The big issue was it was very fucking expensive.
Yeah, no kidding.
So they were trying to find somebody that Universal Games doesn't put a lot of money into games. So they're trying to find a publishing partner that would be willing to commit the big development risk.
Rest in peace.
I heard
Ludia Games.
I heard some of the meetings went very well, and I'm talking about like they met with like the big publishers, including first-party publishers. So we're talking.
I'm gonna fight you, Chris.
They met Activision, Ubisoft, EA, Sony, Microsoft, etc. Now I don't know what happened.
No one picked up the game.
I don't know what happened. I think things were sounding pretty decent, but I just don't think it. I think eventually the talks dissolved, and whatever they were planning just didn't. Plans did not align.
It drifted
off. It drifted off from what I know. But in 2018, Creative Assembly. I keep almost saying Certain Affinity, but it's not Certain Affinity. They worked on, they helped with some of the Halo games. But Creative Assembly absolutely had some discussions about the Jurassic IP. And
I hate you so much.
It might have been 2017. I'm trying to remember when this was. It was a while ago though, and ultimately, I believe it went nowhere. Sadly.
Yeah, no kidding. It went nowhere.
I mean, a game like that takes time to develop. And from pitch and whatnot, so it's possible.
It makes so much money, though.
It's possible it went somewhere, and we just aren't hearing about it yet. But I think, unfortunately, the talks fell apart. And that is what was interesting to me, though, when there was that Jurassic World Evolution 2 leak, which we know is real way back when. And in that leak, it said that they would also be working on a survival title.
Frontier, and we know that
Frontier. So I was like, that's
through the years, Survivor and Survival.
I was wondering if they were helping. At that point, I was like, I wonder if they're helping Creative Assembly like work on that game. Like maybe
asset sharing and things
like that.
Yeah,
asset sharing it, like engine, animation, things like that.
It makes sense. And that would also bring costs down on Universal's end, right?
Yeah,
the main thing that seems to be holding this game back.
There's always money with Jurassic World.
Well, I mean, you got to figure creating a game where you adventure and survive around dinosaurs and making it fun. Figuring out the gameplay mechanics, that takes a lot of research and development. That on its own, figuring out the gameplay loop.
But it's not like Jurassic World hasn't made a ton of money to like facilitate.
No, for sure, but it's still like, I mean, hell, even
that reason isn't a reason to not do it. That just means that they need to do it. Like because
game development is highly volatile. I mean, look at what was the name of that other Star Wars game that fell through? That the Uncharted.
13?
No,
with Amy Hennig.
Yeah, that one even fell through, and that looked great. That looked great, and it would
have been cool
from the Uncharted leads and whatnot. They created their own studio, and they put a lot of money into it, and it ultimately just fell apart. And like game development's very volatile, more volatile than like movie development.
But
it's very difficult.
We've had so many games fall through at this point, even in recent years. Jurassic World Survival or Survivor.
The thing is they're always. I would say they've always been like AA titles and not full AAA titles. You know what I mean? Like they're always like that, always online. They're still chasing trends. They're not like a really curated single player high budget experience like
it's not
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Wow, yeah,
pristine game.
Or even Resident Evil remakes. Those are AAA things.
Resident Evil Village is so good. I cannot believe it. I'm
still playing it.
I haven't beat it yet, but I've never been a huge Resident Evil fan. But
which is shocking to me, Chris.
Village is just I liked Resident Evil 4 back in the day, and then I didn't get into the other ones really. And then I liked the one before Village, 7. But I like Village so much more than 7.
Interesting. Okay.
Village is like I'm like this is cool as hell. I mean, it almost could just not be Resident Evil, which is
It's
like
barely a Resident Evil. Okay, this is the Resident Evil podcast from now on.
but it's got the same
No,
concept that we want for Jurassic. It's got
Harry
open.
Potter in a bit.
It's got exploration. Open. Oh yeah, I got Jack into Harry Potter finally.
Oh, I know. I remember the episode. I was on the episode when he.
Yeah, but I mean, it's really finally
his
happened.
love. Really.
Yeah, I'm really in there. But before we dive into the transition into Harry Potter Pod, I would like to go through this leak. So that is interesting about Creative Assembly. Obviously, this leak is fake. However, it goes on to say, so semi-open world, title is Lost World Jurassic Park, which is hilarious. Isla Nublar is the setting, which makes sense for all of Jurassic World, etc. Main character is a gun for hire trying to survive on the island. Again, classic. Velociraptor and T-Rex look alike as main enemies. Mature game with lots of gore, which is obviously what we all want. We all want lots of gore because we want to blast dinosaurs in the face.
Intestines in the
Blast
face.
them.
Blast them. Next gen only, full stop. You know how it
Next
goes.
gen only would be nice, actually.
And stealth mechanics. And there is a picture. There is the Lost World logo. Well, I'd say it's the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom logo turned into the Lost World Jurassic Park. And
It's so
dinosaur,
clunky. It's the
do you
whole
even
leak.
know, like, can you tell what dinosaur that's supposed
It's
to be?
funny how sloppy. It's funny how sloppy this fake is.
Yeah, especially
I'd have to
because
look.
even the title on the box is The Lost World, but the title of the game is Lost World. So they can't even keep their own attention to detail at it. It's crazy.
Just a misprint.
So,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's all good.
But
Don't worry about
it would be very funny
What
if this
is
was
on the
actually
cover?
real.
Hold on.
You imagine?
And it's just like this complete misfiring of an idea. What is that species? Is it like Oh, I cannot tell what that is because it's super grainy on my. Yeah, I don't know.
You're supposed to be the dinosaur guy.
Well, I can't tell. It's like a thumbnail on the image that I have available.
But yeah, anyway, so it's fake. But that is a really interesting leak to come out. But what's more interesting is the fact that Creative Assembly were at one point in talks with Universal. I guess at this point, it's just
that. But that's every fan's like laundry list of like since Alien Isolation came out, hardcore Jurassic Park fans and just gaming fans have said, "Damn, this would be great for the Jurassic franchise."
Yeah, it really would.
And I think that did not go unnoticed by either Universal Games or Creative Assembly. I don't think it happened, but it was definitely something that was thought of, and that does give me a little bit of hope that if a Jurassic World survival game is actually properly in development, like a full AAA game, that gives me hope that they are going to take inspiration from a lot of these titles that we do talk about. If they could crack the egg on figuring out how to make a good Jurassic game, I would be happy.
I think everyone would be happy.
I would be very happy, but it's no small task. I get it. It's a challenge, so we'll have to wait and see. But it's definitely not this game.
Rip.
Yeah, rip in peace, Lost World Jurassic Park. Weird times. But yeah, no, I mean, it really does open the discussion on what kind of what kind of video games, people want. And as Chris said, it goes without saying that's kind of where we're at this point.
Yeah, I mean, people just want a story-driven, high-budget game that's not a park builder. They want to play a character that interacts with dinosaurs in this world. I think that's really what it comes down to, is they just want it to be a game that's not a cell phone game, that's not goofy, they just want to play a game that's like, yeah, this feels like I'm playing a Jurassic Park movie. I'm playing
don't get me wrong,
movie.
I want more mobile games that are pay to play.
Shush.
Who doesn't want that? If Universal, I know you're listening. Look, we love all the mobile games, and we want more. I want to waste more of my money on low budget Ludia games. I really do. I think it's so perfect. And
Jurassic World Primal Ops.
Yeah, milking all that cash from kids. It's like, it makes sense.
You know what? Why didn't this leak? If they wanted to make this leak even slightly believable, why didn't they call it Jurassic World Primal Ops?
Yeah, because they're trying to grab our attention, thinking we're idiots.
Well, we are, so.
Lost World, it must be real.
I love that movie.
I love gore.
But I also love how it's called The Lost World, but then set on Nublar.
Yeah, come on, guys. Not a good one.
To be fair, though, that is very that is almost on brand for it not make the amount that doesn't make sense almost circles back to making sense. Yeah. It's like, wait, Yep, yeah, that feels right.
Yeah. Okay, so there's another thing that we want to talk about, right? Which is Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Season 4. Now,
I've heard
we've
of it.
speculated in our speculation video about the speculation of Season 4 that it may be going, we think there's a strong possibility it's going to Isla Sorna. However, that we never confirmed that. We don't know.
There is a
honestly
weird
have no idea where it's going.
Yeah, there's a weird reframing of like literally when the season came out. Jack and I, because we had our early screeners to write our review. So when we're writing the review, we were both talking and we're like, "So where do you think season 4 goes?" And we're both like, "It's got to go to Sorna. That's it." That's the reason why we think it goes to Sorna, because that just it is literally our speculation. I've seen people on Twitter reframe it as assuming that we have insider knowledge or that we're trying to frame it as insider knowledge. No,
well, to be fair, we should be calling you out, Chris, right?
Right. It's genuinely genuinely insider knowledge. It's genuinely not insider knowledge. No, I want it to go to Sorna because it makes sense, and I want to see Sorna again. And there are a lot of circumstantial things that potentially point that direction, but it is purely speculation. I don't know if it goes to Sorna. I'd be very bummed if it doesn't go there. I'd absolutely be bummed if it doesn't go there. It's entirely possible it doesn't. Hell, the entire season could be from like the perspective of Dave, Roxy, and other characters, and maybe we don't even see the campers in this season. Maybe the entire season is showing what Dave and Roxy and them have been doing to try to rescue these kids, and it could be Dave and Roxy going to Isla Nublar
6 months
while the kids are God knows where.
Can't wait.
And then season 5 picks up the kids' story. I don't know. Like, I really don't know where the story's going, but Isla Sorna certainly makes narratively, thematically and narratively, it makes the most sense.
And in the context of the third movie coming out too.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense because it's something that people have wanted to see. It's an island with dinosaurs on it. It gives them a lot of lore opportunities. There's a lot of ways that they can tie everything together.
You mean there are 2 islands with dinosaurs?
All right, you stay out of it.
Come on.
Come
on.
It's not insider knowledge. It's not based off of some sort of
because Chris, you've got the inside scoop. You've been shouting the longest and the loudest. I think if you're wrong and season 4 isn't Sorna, we should publicly shame you.
Yeah, I
agree.
Yeah, right.
That's the only thing that should happen.
Me. Chris hates dinos.
That's Tar and Feather.
New Twitter title. Yeah.
Chris hates Jurassic.
Yeah, right.
Chris Pugh.
Chris loves Sorna.
If it doesn't go to Isla Sorna, though, where do you think season 4 could go? Obviously, if it's gonna, I believe it's gonna stay with the kids, right? It's got kind of the kids show, right? But where would the kids go? They aren't going back to Nublar. That's been told to us, unless that was a.
Okay, so to rewind real quick, Scott Kramer, I don't, whatever the executive producer, I believe, or showrunner of Camp Cretaceous, has flat out said the end of Camp Cretaceous season 3 is not a red herring, that they don't want to fake out the audience and be like, oh, we're leaving Nublar, and then start out the next season, be like, surprise, the kids are right back. He said he wanted to give the kids a win in universe. He wanted to finally give them a win, so they're moving them away from Isla Nublar. And on top of that, he also he thought it would just kind of be unsatisfying for the viewers if the kids wound back up on Nublar. So the one confirmation we have is season 4 absolutely will see the kids not end up on Isla Nublar. That's the only one thing we know as a certainty. The kids will not end up at Nublar. That doesn't mean Dave and Roxy won't end up on Nublar. In fact, I fully expect Dave and Roxy to end up at Nublar.
6 months later, though, that's really ridiculous.
Well, that's the thing.
Fact that they haven't been back since, or at least we don't know what's been going on. But
what's a big island? Maybe they did.
Silly though.
Maybe they did come back, and maybe they just missed each other on the island. I know that's
constantly
like constant, like Scooby Doo, where like one person enters one door and the other person comes out the other door, just back and forth. No, but okay. So the one thing that we do know about Camp Cretaceous season 4 now, because of the book tie-ins, is the storybook tie-in is called Rescue Mission. So I think that points pretty strongly to Dave and Roxy's story finally coming back, because the end of season 1 really hinted that Dave and Roxy would be big players, and a lot of the press information, when it talked about Dave and Roxy, it talked about them as ongoing, reoccurring characters in the franchise. So I think that there's enough to go off to believe that there was the intention of bringing them back. It could have changed, but I think that that's enough to believe that they would come back. So I think season 4 will bring Dave and Roxy back. I think that book kind of gives us the hint. And to be honest with you, there is no reason, at least with what we know so far, there's no reason why Dave and Roxy wouldn't look on Isla Nublar. So there's a very good chance that we as viewers will return to Isla Nublar through the perspective of Dave and Roxy as they look for the kids.
I just feel like the season has to stay with the kids. That's
I could see them starting the season of being like, where the hell are the kids? And
starting it, yeah, but the season has to have the kids in it.
Yeah, no, I think it'll eventually.
Is their show.
Yeah.
So where the kids go, I mean, it's Isla Sorna makes the most sense, but then again, Isla Sorna made the most sense for where to transport the dinosaurs in Fallen Kingdom, and that didn't happen either. So
maybe they make it to the sanctuary.
Yeah, the sanctuary island with no dinosaurs on it. They're like, where's this?
Five deaths.
Where are we?
Empty
Where
island,
is it? Yeah.
What is this place? Somehow they're off the coast of California. They're like, well, this is weird.
Yeah. Lockwood Isle.
No, I mean, look, there's been a lot of conversation, and I've had people. If you've seen Clayton's video, they brought up like, oh, do you think that his speculation that the live tour would play into it, and the kids end up at Chile? The problem is there's only 3 raptors that are loose in Chile, and there's only 3 raptors loose in Chile, and
yeah, so this is
I didn't even know about this.
Dude, I learned this today. I was
What
like,
the hell?
What's the so I've not seen the live tour, but also haven't followed anything about it. But yeah, it turns out there's some raptors loose in Chile in the canon universe. There's just some wild.
Oh well, that's upsetting to hear because
around in Chile.
I just don't think that really makes sense for a few reasons. I mean, how would they end up there? Why would they end up there? That's an engine facility. We haven't really seen engine come into play too much. And that's an engine facility separate of the stuff that Dr. Wu is doing with Mills and all them. So I just don't really see that story point intersecting. Also, I think if they wanted the live tour story to play into Camp Cretaceous and have crossover, we would have seen the Troodon and the animal emotion program that the Troodon was tied to in the live tour. There was like no crossover of the things that they introduced in the live tour don't appear in Camp Cretaceous and vice versa. Like there are some very logical points that the crossover
except bioluminescence.
Yes, but the one thing that we know about bioluminescence is it was Universal's idea, both to the live tour people and to
I think you'll find that was actually Aaron's idea.
Yeah, so Universal
someone go back.
When Universal have worked with like in-house, Universal's team have basically cooked up some ideas that they thought would be cool, and I totally agree with them. I guess they cooked up some art about bioluminescent dinosaurs, and they just kind of been like, we have this idea if you guys want to include it. And both Live Tour and Camp Cretaceous like the idea of bioluminescent dinosaurs. It's a very good idea. It's beautiful, and they included it. Now that does create a a thread of continuity.
You can do it.
A thread of continuity between Live Tour and Camp Cretaceous for sure. I would love if there was some sort of acknowledgement, but I kind of feel like they missed the boat, so to speak. I absolutely feel like they missed the boat on that, so
Well, I don't think they're going to go to Chile, but if they don't, the only thing they can go to is any of the 5 Death Islands. Isla Sorna makes the most sense. They could end up back on Nublar, but they've said they're not. It's got to be mainland. Maybe they end up in Costa Rica and they're just like stranded in the middle of nowhere, Costa Rica.
In a hotel.
One more note about the reason why I don't think that makes sense with the live tour crossover. When we did our press tour for the opening of the live tour, we were talking to them about the idea of where it came from, and they said they originally had the engine facility somewhere else in the world, but Colin said he didn't want them to put it there because he was exploring that part of the world for Dominion, and he didn't want Live Tour to cross paths too much with Dominion. Considering Colin's also been heavily involved with Camp Cretaceous and keeps saying that Camp Cretaceous will cross paths with Dominion, it makes me think that the Live Tour kind of like sits aside and it's not really going to intersect with anything. So it doesn't track, I guess. I mean, it would be interesting if they started tying this all together, and I'd be happy if they started tying it all together, but I don't think it's going to happen because there's not really dinosaurs there beyond a few raptors that are loose in the desert. And it just sort of doesn't track.
Which still blows my mind, by the way. There's wild raptors in Chile. I didn't even know there was
other raptors in the world other than
I don't even know that was a thing. So
well, they pull them off of Nublar. When they do the evacuation, they pull them off of Nublar and continue their program.
So, but they're like from the Jurassic World era raptors.
They are Jurassic World era raptors. Yeah, they're not
like Project Ibris or whatever it's called.
I think Project Ibris. I think they're a continuation
blue
of that.
and stuff.
I think it's like only that lot, but they're a continuation of the program, but without Owen. It's basically like InGen tries to continue the program for militarizing raptors or whatever.
It's a cool thing. It's a cool
thing
idea.
is though, like raptors in the desert, wild. It's
a cool idea.
Stunning, yeah.
I'd
love to see that explored in either a short movie or a TV series or something. I think there could be something really fun.
They use these digital visual backdrops for the Jurassic World live tour, and so like the mountainscape and like the night sky that they had for the Chile scenes, it was so nice.
Dude, I'm so jealous. Like they were supposed to come to Ottawa when I was like in Ottawa in between my military things, and like COVID shut it down. There you go.
Well, I hear it's coming back next year.
Where?
Live tour.
No, I mean,
I hope so, man.
I have no idea where. I mean, the entire tour plan.
Man. If it's coming back to Canada, me and Asees going together.
Yeah, the entire touring plan's probably started over, and also I wouldn't be surprised if they have to recast people. Like, there's probably a lot of things that might have changed, but yeah, I do hear that it's coming back next year.
I'm so excited to see it, man.
I hope that there are some points where the story didn't quite gel as much as it could have. So I do hope that they've taken this time down to maybe like just slightly rework some of the elements to make it all mesh a little bit more. Especially now that, Camp Cretaceous, its story's locked. Dominion, its story's locked. They could have used this time to tighten up all these little things a little bit and make it just
maybe you tie it into some things.
Yeah, exactly. Like make it a little bit more synergistic. That would be very cool. But okay, so where would the campers end up? I mean, Sorna or the 5 Deaths are the things that make the most sense to us if you take evolution into account. But evolution isn't canon; it's its own alternative universe where the Jurassic World incident didn't happen. And it's also its own alternative universe where the Jurassic Park characters consult. But that doesn't mean that they weren't privy to ideas of where they're going to take the franchise and tried to incorporate as much canon as they could into the concept of a park builder where the park builder is on multiple islands and successful. That's like kind of like it's its own canon, but then they try to take as much canon as they can. So yeah, I mean, I guess you can maybe look at it for clues. Obviously, Biosyn got name dropped in Jurassic World Evolution, and then we all thought that meant something. We thought that Biosyn being mentioned couldn't be a coincidence. Hearing like Jeff Goldblum say the name Biosyn, we're like, well, that's interesting. And then what do you know? Biosyn is in Jurassic World 3, so it does make sense. I think that there could be elements there, and that's something again that Clayton talked about. But I don't know. I'm hard pressed to think of something that logically vibes. I mean, you've got Biosyn.
As you were saying, perhaps you've got the story focuses on Dave and Roxy, and every episode we get a couple of minor scenes of the kids the entire time on the boat, stuck.
I don't know
maybe
about
it loses
that.
power, maybe it loses gas. They're stuck on the boat, but maybe we're only seeing flashes. The whole season focuses on Dave and Roxy, and maybe something else that's going on with another team. And it's progressing towards the kids stuck on this boat, and at the end, they finally get rescued. Like it's like discovered that they're in the middle of that goddamn ocean between.
Then the question is, where would season 5 go? Because there is a season 5.
Sorna for sure.
But why? Why would they get rescued? You know what I mean?
I don't think we could. If Sorna's not in season 4, then they're not going to end up at Sorna. I'm just trying to think. I can't. Unless they do get.
And here's the thing:
we said in our speculation video, we don't think anyone's going to kidnap the kids because why would you kidnap children?
Why would you what is the purpose?
It's a weird thing to start trafficking children around.
That's
globally around the world.
They have nothing to gain from these kids. You know what I mean? Like, why would they kidnap them? So it's not like I don't know. But
what if that does happen? We gotta suspend our disbelief.
And like we've had a lot of people.
Maybe season 4 is going to be like season 2. Lots of silliness and explosions and
just like a filler season.
Skinny, afraid Ben fighting and destroying a giant Carnotaurus.
Yeah, like maybe he'll like fight off the mosasaur, like those old like people fighting off sea monsters and stuff like that,
like a spear.
Yeah, like a spear. Okay, now here's the other thing. There's obviously Manticore, but I'm hesitant to believe that Manticore is going to play any big role in the story because we've been told that they originally wanted to do Biosyn, but then they were told not to use Biosyn in the role that they're using Manticore because it didn't vibe with the way Biosyn was going to be in Dominion. So and then we've been told that season 4 ties into Dominion very strongly. So I don't really believe the kids would end up at Manticore, because if Manticore was something that the Camp Cretaceous writers made up because they couldn't use Biosyn, I doubt it ties into Dominion in any significant way. They could bring in Biosyn out of the left field, which is something that we've talked about, and it could be interesting. But I just, again, how and where? Like, I guess the question is where. Why would the kids end up at a Biosyn facility unless we're saying Biosyn set up shop right next to Isla Nublar?
Maybe they could have.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Maybe Biosyn is on a ship in the middle of the ocean on their way to the island or on their way from the island, and Biosyn, fishing.
That'd be pretty cool.
Fishes the Camp Cretaceous kids, takes them on the boat, tries to get information. Like, what the hell? Like, kids, what the hell are you doing?
Remember, it's going to be kids with probably a dinosaur on the boat as well.
Dinosaur or some sort of mercenary or survivor.
Something.
It's got to be an animal, right?
I think it would be interesting if Biosyn's like, yeah, we'll get you to mainland, but we've got some shady stuff to do beforehand, so just like bear with. I mean, maybe Biosyn won't be entirely evil, you know what I mean? Like, maybe they'll be like, hey, yeah, we're gonna do our stuff that we're still gonna do, but we will eventually get you to mainland, and maybe they mean it. You know what I mean? Maybe they're not like the evil, like oh, we got to get you out of the picture, because I just don't believe that.
These kids,
like a big, it just I don't.
I would like some gore though, of course. Like,
get some
evisceration season if somebody could blast the kids in the face.
Blast a dinosaur in the face too.
Yeah,
kids
definitely.
Blast a
It's all
dinosaur.
about gore.
Shove some C4 down a dinosaur's throat and then detonate it. You know?
Hopefully. But no, it is interesting. I have no idea. But Biosyn, Colin said Dominion is going to tie closely with season 4, so maybe Biosyn is the link. You never know.
But then there's still the question is, what's the setting? And if so, how and why do the kids get? If so, how and why do the kids get there? I don't know. I mean, we've definitely had like a lot of hints that Isla Sorna will play a role. I mean, again, the first image that Colin released was a crate that said Isla Sorna on it. I just don't. Isla Sorna makes sense, and if it's not Isla Sorna, I almost feel like they changed it because that's what everyone was saying is going to be type of deal. You know what I mean? Like,
it's Isla Sorna now.
It's different.
Side F.
It's like,
I don't know, but if you, as we said in that video, it's all speculation, but
it really is
Spinosaurus being a big show in Mattel's Camp Cretaceous toy line, with the Jurassic Park 3 Velociraptor, with the Lost World Pteranodon plushie, like all of that coming out, really, it just seems like they're gearing towards Sorna.
I will clear
Sorna, then maybe some of those species will be in the season, but they're.
I will clear up the one thing that wasn't speculation. We did hear that Kentrosaurus was in season 4. It was tied to Camp Cretaceous before we saw the toy packaging, but that's literally the one thing that we heard. We heard Kentrosaurus, and then eventually the toy packaging came out, and that confirmed that. So that's literally the one and only thing that we heard. We've heard nothing about Sorna or anything like that. That's literally our own. I would call it
the most logical.
Yeah, I would call it a mixture of a pipe dream and like logic, and then some circumstantial evidence with the JP3 female seeming to get some toy coverage and Camp Cretaceous packaging. Albeit, I realize that the toy version does look very off model, not as off model as the plush. The toy version's like completely covered in like chocolate color, whereas
chocolate on the back,
yeah.
Whereas it's not really chocolate color; it's green, Chris.
It's not green, it's yellow. Get your eyes checked. If you're going to say something as fact, you better make sure it's real.
Get your eyes checked. I've actually got 2010 vision, which is one above 2020. It's that much better. So,
wow.
What's really funny? The color is actually olive. And if you do a sampling of the colors, you can get colors that range in the sphere of green and in the sphere of yellow. But
the more you know.
But the layman, when they look at that, they're going to say it's green.
Some questions.
I love questions.
We really do, and we've got some. So that's what's happening. So I guess if we're ready, let's dive into that first question. Now, somebody that is a great member of the fandom and has been very vocal at all recently has come out of the woodwork.
Wow!
Has opened the door. Justin Jurassic Raptor is back.
Wow.
And
Welcome back.
I've been waiting for his comments on the podcast, and I haven't seen
Yeah,
them.
it's been a minute.
And it's been a minute. It's been a hot minute.
Several minutes even.
Jurassic Raptor, if you're listening, what's up, man? Based on the description from CinemaCon, could the Dilophosaurus in Dominion be the variation we saw in Lockwood's Manor rather than the Jurassic Park version? And could this be a clue we'll see other of Lockwood's dinos alive in Dominion, like the Dimetrodon? I'd never know how to say that, Chris.
Dimetrodon?
Dimetrodon. And
Dimetrodon?
Concavinator. How'd I do?
Concavinator, yeah.
Nailed it.
Great question. Based on the description that we have of the Dilophosaurus, it is very similar to the Jurassic Park one.
Mm-hmm. More so than the Lockwood one.
Yes. However, that is a great... those dinosaurs in Lockwood Manor, it's never really answered. They're models, but it's never really answered where they're from, what dinosaurs they're based off of. Is it?
The thing that's really curious about it is we've been told time and time again the Jurassic Park dinosaurs look different from their prehistoric counterparts because of genetic tampering. Okay, and the thing is the Lockwood models are clearly based off of Jurassic Park dinosaurs, but then they're also not accurate. So the question would be, why would Lockwood commission models but then not get them right? Unless they were based off of genetic variations. So yeah, I like when you look at Lockwood's models, and I mean, hell, the Concavinator has a fourth like thumb-like digit, which just is not right at all. But guess what has a fourth thumb-like digit? Some of their genetic creations, like the Indominus and the Scorpius and the Indoraptor. So you look at that and you go, well, these clearly seem to be hinting at some sort of, Lockwood's this guy that was making dinosaurs with Hammond way back in the day. These seem to be representations of some of their earliest dinosaurs. I think that is the most logical way to look at it.
Think about.
There was that EW thing that came out that said they're taxidermy animals, and unfortunately that ended up not being true. It was editorialism and misunderstanding on their part. So they weren't taxidermy animals. They were models. They were museum models, like replicas or whatever. Yeah. But they're still replicas. They still are supposedly replicating animals that existed. So I love the idea that they are representative of species that Hammond and Lockwood cloned, and the way that they looked. Like, I love the idea that the original raptors were smaller and like kind of had those colors. The Dilophosaurs originally looked like that, which their heads were different. They're more raptor-like, and their colors were different and whatnot. I definitely like that idea, and I would love if they went full circle and we saw like a real version of some of the other species, like Dimetrodon, Concavinator, Dracorex, the Diplodocus, the little baby Diplodocus with their crazy bug eyes. They're very cute and very freaky at the same time, but like just the right amount of freaky. Like they kind of like, how like Baby Yoda has like that authentically cute and slightly off but slightly real look. The baby Diplodocus kind of did that for me. I love that idea. I love that idea. I don't think the Dilophosaurus, but the other question that would beg the question of like, where did it come from and why is it finally appearing in Dominion?
Well, we know it's been on the island since at least Fallen Kingdom, right?
Yeah, but why would it look like the Fallen Kingdom version? Do you know what I mean? Like, why would it not look like why would Lockwood has no ties to Jurassic World? Only to Jurassic Park.
Sense to like the original Nublar Dilophosaurus.
Yeah. So I don't know. I love the concept. I'm not sure if Dominion's the movie to see that. I think like if we ever get like a prequel series or something, maybe exploring some of the backstory, I think that's where you could see that type of concept explored and evolve further. But who the hell knows? It'd be a cool Easter egg at the very least. But I don't think the Dominion Dilophosaur looks like the Lockwood Dilophosaur.
So that does
in spite sharing some color similarities, but the thing is like everyone, when they do a Jurassic Park Dilophosaur, but it's slightly off brand or slightly off, it usually looks like that. Like they put color, almost every Jurassic World toy of the Dilophosaur puts colors on the crest, even though there shouldn't be colors on the crest. Makes the crest like more unitone, and it loses a lot of like the black with the white outlines on the body.
Yep.
Or the dark navy green that's almost black.
Well, it does lead into another question. We had a question from UT, Feathered Tyrant. Is there any specific dinosaur that you'd want to see brought into the film canon? For example, mine would be Tyrannus. Is that the right saying,
Yeah,
Chris?
Tyrannus. Yeah, that's how you say it.
Yes, I did it.
Yeah.
1 out of 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pachyrhinosaurus. I will
Chris
scream
is
it from the
always on that.
rooftops for as long as I live. Pachyrhinosaurus. I really want to see Pachyrhinosaurus get some
Didn't we
love
already
in
have that in
Jurassic-
the first one?
Yeah, right,
The one that's
seriously.
sick.
No, he's the Fallen Kingdom, bro.
Yeah, Fallen Kingdom. Remember the one with the big horn
With the holes in his head.
with the holes in the frill.
The one that gets killed by the Indominus.
Yeah.
But no, for real, a Pachyrhinosaurus design. Yeah, I'd love to see Pachyrhinosaurus. Another one I always wanted to see was Microraptor.
And what is that?
It's imagine like a compy-sized flying, gliding raptor, where not only are its front arms,
Archaeopteryx.
yeah, but not only are its front arms wings with claws, its back legs with its little sickle claws are also developed into gliding wings. So like when it would glide like a X-wing, and then it would like run around on the
It's
ground.
a flying squirrel.
Yeah, sort of, but it looked like an X-wing. But then when it would land, it would look like a raptor or a compy.
I'm
It's like-
actually so down for that. That should have been something. You know when Nick Harris went back to Isla Nublar in the John Sayles script?
Wow,
and there was
that's a deep
Excavaraptors, right?
yeah,
There's Excavaraptors that have gone underground and act like trapdoor spiders, and then there should be freaking flying raptors in the trees.
I love like these
dive
little
bomb you.
yeah.
That's
these
such
little
a
like
cool idea.
I
And
love
there
the
should be
idea.
gore, loads of gore.
No, but I love the idea of these things running around on the ground. You think you're getting like a compy like character that's feathered. Okay, so you think you know how the scene's gonna go, and next thing you know, they're way up in the trees, like peering down at the character, and then they start they start running, and they start like flying and gliding and
What
traversing
do they call them?
terrain.
Sugar gliders. Those
Yeah,
sugar gliders are
yeah.
just up in the trees, and then they're just like, and they just
Yeah, they're just in their perch like these little mini raptors, and then
Yeah.
next thing you know, they're flying with their claws and teeth bared.
That's
And
a
obviously,
great species.
the real
That is
real
awesome.
Microraptor would eat bugs or whatever, but like this is Jurassic
It's
Park.
not fun, yeah.
Let's make them like compies. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
let's
Like
make it eat
compies,
kids and stuff.
compies with sickle claws that could fly, and when they fly, they sort of look like X-wings.
Yeah, I know. I'm
That's
100%
cool.
down. Let's do it.
I'm down with that too. Yeah.
All right,
that's
let's
my answer.
greenlight it. Let's go.
You
Let's
sold me
go.
on it, dude.
Great question, though. Okay, so Mr. DNA, not the
Wait. What about you? What about? Don't you have a species?
me.
Yeah, the one you just told me.
Yeah.
You literally sold me on it. So cool.
Literally it. Like I'm in for Microraptor. I thought we were greenlighting that. We're going
Oh,
with
okay. All right.
it. Reply to that tweet from the Outpost. Just Microraptor.
Microraptor.
That's it.
Sold.
Genuinely don't know. I don't like in a Jurassic movie now. I don't need a new species. I want them
Nope.
to explore.
Yeah.
Just animals.
We have what we need.
The lore in the story. No, totally
The
there.
lore and
I
the
mean,
story in the
I think
animals, yeah.
getting new dinosaurs is fun, but the lore in the story is like
Yeah.
where I'm most
Well, there was
focused on.
always a new dinosaur, wasn't there? There was always something new in each one, or something different, like the Stegosaurs being introduced in Lost World. Something that now is just a very common
makes sense,
dinosaur,
though.
but
It makes sense.
yeah, it's just cool.
Okay, you know what?
that's-
I want to throw one more into the ring.
Here we
Some
go.
any of the species that were on the Jurassic Park map or in the Jurassic World map that just we haven't seen, like Metriacanthosaurus. It was part of the Jurassic World species list. I mean, the Jurassic Park.
Parasaurus.
It was part of the Jurassic Park species list and the Jurassic World species list. We still haven't seen it. I would like to see Metriacanthosaurus.
No, okay, but what about a species like the Excavaraptor or the Microraptor? Come on, another species like that can do something crazy. Like, what about
So,
a species that can swim and walk on land?
Spinosaurus.
Spino, legit Spino. I would like to see a baby Spinosaurus, like
It'd be
That
a cute little thing. It'd be a cute
young,
little
a
thing.
I'd love-
youngling.
Do you think it would look like Papo's toy? Honestly, Papo's toy made me wonder if there was like concept art of a baby Spinosaur that we just never saw because it
Did they
looks
do
so
a
did
baby
see it.
Spino?
They did
Did we
a
not
baby
see the,
Spino, and it's so it looks so authentically Jurassic Park that like I'm like, did they see something that we never saw? Like that type of like.
Dude,
Oh,
I'm pretty
look
sure
at
we've
its
seen
little
a baby
sail.
Spinosaur fucking art. I'm pretty sure we've seen that before, have we not?
Look at its little sail.
Not like that.
Its little tail.
Yeah, it's a cute
I-
little guy.
Oh, look at his little sail.
It's such a
he-
good little design, isn't it? And it
Yeah.
looks Jurassic
Yeah.
Park.
I love it. I
It
love
looks
the little
like
thing, yeah.
the eyes and the head, kinda, of the baby Tyrannosaur.
Yeah, no, they really interpreted sort of the art style that Crash and Stan
God.
Winston brought to the baby T-Rex.
No,
and
they really did. This is. I've not seen this before. This is really good. And
Yeah.
its little sail. Look at its little sail.
Yeah, he's cute, dude.
Yeah.
It's very sweet. Yeah. How much is that? Where can I get that? Well, I want this little baby spin. That's cool. Yeah, I take a baby Spino though. But
Yeah.
what about? Come on, like if we've right. So if Nick Harris is going back to Isla Nublar, he's getting trapdoored by trapdoor raptors. He's getting dive bombed by Microraptors. What else can happen? Eaten alive by microscopic raptors, piranha raptors. What can it be? He takes a bait. He's dirty. He's muddy. He goes into the stream, washes off, takes his clothes off, walks in there. Next thing you know, he's walking out and he's lost all his flesh from his waist down.
What's going on here? What's happening?
Pure gore.
Pure gore.
What else? Jurassic Park 4, pure gore. Come on, what another species that could evolve and do something funky and weird?
Are you talking about real species, or are we talking about funky stuff like Excavaraptor that are made up?
Well, the Microraptor dive bombing sounds good, sounds legit, but that's a real species that potentially would do that.
It's exaggerating what the real animal would do, but whatever. It's Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
I mean,
Brachys.
So if you like a real species that is weird and that could like fill a unique role, I would love to see animals like Sarcosuchus or Postosuchus, slightly quadrupedal. They're not dinosaurs. Yeah, they're like the more crocodilian reptilian things. I would love to see like a more but they could run, they could gallop like
horses.
Yeah,
nothing more terrifying than
like a cheetah or whatever.
Like horses.
Like imagine like
can you imagine a crocodile.
Imagine like a crocodile that could like imagine a crocodile that could charge you like a big cat. Something like that. Like they're built terrifying. Like big cats. Like they could gallop, run, or whatever you want to call it. They could pounce. I think something like that would be really cool because we just really were used to the carnivorous animals that are
like the one that made the Jurassic toy line.
Lake Placid.
Yeah, Ornithosuchus.
Yeah, the four-legged like
I would love to
tiger-looking one.
Yeah, I would love to see something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the tiger-looking one. What was the tiger-looking one?
Or am I thinking Camp Cretaceous at this point?
No. Well, there is that one as well, but the tiger-looking one was in the what was the species? Because it got the
you know the one I mean, right?
Yeah, but I was talking about the blue one that was unreleased for Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
You guys know a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know shit.
Yeah. Like that was an Ornithosuchus, and then Mattel did a Postosuchus that was painted like it.
What's it called? The
Ornithosuchus?
That was re-released as Jurassic World Dinosaurs or Jurassic Park Dinosaurs.
It was the Lost World. It was the Lost World. It was like the Walmart exclusive tracker set, I think.
Yeah. I had that.
Yeah. The paint job wasn't as cool, but that's a really cool sculpt. Or no, it was really standalone. It was really standalone.
He's losing his mind right now.
But yeah, I would love a species like that.
Yeah, no, I think that would be really
cool. Not
a
dinosaur, it's a prehistoric reptile, but whatever.
Oh, what? Yeah, no,
way more terrifying than
they
dinosaurs,
released
honestly.
it through the Jurassic Park Dinosaurs toy line as well, Chris, remember?
Okay.
It's thrashes its snapping jaws, it says on the front.
Wow.
There's an exclusive to Islands of Adventure, it seems. Jurassic World Dinosaurs, the one with the sandy color.
Okay. Color. Oh man,
Ornithosuchus even has a pronunciation up the top there. Yeah, it thrashes its snapping jaws, and it looks like it's got like a striped, four-legged, giant-mouthed, tigery kind of thing. And then also the Kenna Lycanops,
Lycanops or whatever.
The tiger-looking dude.
Yeah, that's the tiger one I meant. That would be. I mean, that's super weird, but like, why not?
Yeah, I mean that one's very, very tigery looking, I guess, for lack of better words.
Basically, a tiger, isn't it?
Yeah, you're a tiger.
Wow,
that's what they say.
Yeah, but the Lycanops. With its fang, with its saber strike teeth, something like that could be a lot of fun.
Fang.
Or look up a cat. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
But go down this rabbit hole for days.
Something quadrupedal and reptilian.
Something quadrupedal and reptilian.
Dimetrodon, boys.
That could run and pounce and
run towards Nick Harris on Isla Nublar in 2004. Yeah.
No, I love. It's just they've never done that. They've never done that movement type. They've never done that silhouette type. They've never done that behavior type. And I think that could be really, really cool to see in a Jurassic movie. It's a way to not just have the new Raptor replacement or the new T-Rex replacement. Actually, just do something that we've just not seen.
I think it'd be really cool. Yeah. I'm loving this story so far. So Nick Harris. So we're expanding on that Nick Harris thing. He's already got to the island in the first 10 minutes of being on the island. He's got stuck in a trap underground. He managed to get out of that and escaped the trapdoor raptors. He got dive bombed by Microraptors in the sky, so he's ripped up, he's all bloody and bruised and lots of gore. And then he's running through the island, and
he's running through a stream.
chased.
He dives underwater, and have you seen how tigers can dive underwater really effectively? And it dives underneath him, and you don't expect this thing, and then it's paddling through the water and just.
Oh shit! I feel like I'm there now, dude.
It's like the adrenaline. It's like get to the other side of the river before that thing does, and that thing is gonna beat him. And then at the other side of the river, what's waiting for him? Baby Spinosaurus.
But then the complete turn. He befriends them,
and he ends up on their backs, riding on the look at his little sail. That's what he says.
Very
like, look at you
ride,
and your little sail.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work, but
very uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable for the Spino, probably.
Probably
breaking the sail.
Probably for both.
It's like riding on top of a camel, but on the hump.
Yeah,
a very sharp hump.
Or like a fish, like a fish fin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting story. I think people would love to see this, and
awesome.
Hit us up.
Yeah, exactly. So we've had another question that takes us away from this tangent, which would be, what do you think Colin has up his sleeve when it comes to Dodgson's story and where he's been since 1993? So just as a preface to this, we know that in Dominion, due to the announcement, Dodgson is now the CEO of Biosyn.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point after Jurassic Park, despite his plan not having worked out, he managed to climb the corporate ladder to CEO level.
So I think I'd really like to know what Dodson's done. I mean, we've talked about it time and time again. After the fall of Jurassic Park, anybody, Biosyn, whomever, probably could have got in and very easily taken technology and DNA off the island. They have, in Jurassic Park 3, they established there's touring companies that illegally visit the island. If these touring companies can go next to the island, all these other companies that want to steal stuff, they could have went there. They obviously did go there. Other companies have pillaged these islands, make no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So I think it's safe to assume that Dodson, Biosyn eventually achieved their Jurassic knockoff dreams. Maybe they didn't open a park, but they definitely got the technology and the DNA that they wanted at some point. So whatever they've been doing, I have no idea. I guess that is a good question. But do I think that they're still just trying to steal DNA or something like that? No, I think
of course not.
I think that's been achieved a long time ago, and I think that we know that there's a lot of new species in Jurassic World Dominion that have never appeared in a Jurassic Park or Jurassic World film before, and I think it's pretty easy to guess. I guess I think this is how Biosyn comes into play. They have some tricks up.
They've finally done it.
So they've been doing their own something that's been either hidden from the public that we think, or
so. I mean, do you think that they're still trying to make a Jurassic Park knockoff? Like, do you think they're still trying to make their own?
Maybe they've passed. Maybe they've totally surpassed the idea or desires for that. Maybe they've seen profit in something else. Maybe it's black market stuff.
Whatever.
I love the idea of it being pharmaceuticals.
Well, what do they call it with what do they call it when you go hunting and it's for something endangered,
like a trophy hunting, like a preserve,
it's underground, not actually underground, but bad black market kind of back alley
illegal
stuff.
Hunting.
Yeah,
illegal. You pay
trophy hunt.
People like Roland Tembo would pay big bucks to go.
Yeah,
and
it's like Chris said. Yeah, trophy hunting essentially.
Yeah.
Maybe
they're breeding dinosaurs for people to hunt and kill, which is
so
horrible.
It makes a lot of sense.
In the real world, they do it. So why not?
I feel like that wouldn't be cost effective if you're actually genetically engineering and breeding these dinosaurs. I feel like it would still cost too much money.
Yeah, but how much are these millionaires paying?
I guess
Kenji's dad. How much
could
are
be
they
paying
paying?
$30 million to hunt T-Rex for.
I guess. I suppose.
Go on an expedition. It's their vacation for the year.
100%.
But who knows how much it actually costs to develop these and to and especially mature them into adulthood. I like the idea that maybe they're exploring things like pharmaceuticals and just genetic research. They're using dinosaurs as a key for research to understand genetics more.
Yeah, different ways to profit off
dinosaurs in lab coats.
Yeah, so I feel
cool
I've
idea.
always felt that feels very Crichton. So I sort of hope it's going
cool.
that way.
Yeah,
me too.
Okay, we have one more question. This is from G Keith.
Is he a rapper?
He is a rapper. Yeah.
Yeah, G Keith.
Super Keith K. So he asks, will there be a Beyond the Gates season 2? What do you think is up next for the Mattel Legacy Collection line? So you couldn't see it, guys, but Chris smiled when I asked that question.
This is all Jack and Chris. I don't know anything about this.
Stop asking those questions because we're not going to tell you. And what is up next for the Mattel Legacy Collection line?
Well, come on, give the kids a little tease.
Well, what as I said
I'm
in the
back.
final episode of Beyond the Gates, stay tuned.
There you go.
Yeah,
wow.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
The real answer is: do you want a season 2? Really?
I do.
Really? You want a second season? Oh, okay.
But stay tuned.
Weird. Okay. What do you think is up next for the Mattel Legacy Collection line?
I'm trying to think if I actually know anything. Hold on.
Oh,
because I don't want to say something that I actually know. No, we don't know anything, do we, for Legacy Collection?
I don't know anything.
No, I'm kidding. I don't know. Yeah, no, I have no idea. What was last?
Yeah,
the Explorer set.
The Ford Explorer set. For Legacy
set.
Collection, I would like standalone I would like them to revisit. So when they did Legacy Collection Dinosaurs the first time around, I felt like a lot of the paint jobs and the sculpts weren't really where they needed to be. Like they did a Legacy Collection Pteranodon, but it was just a random Pteranodon. Like it wasn't even painted like the Lost World or JP3. So I'd like to see them do that. And same with the Raptors. I'd like to see a better done Tiger Raptor. They've done JP Raptors, but more in box sets. So maybe a standalone JP Raptor, standalone Tiger Raptor done well. JP3 Raptor. Hey, Asees has got the Amber Collection Pteranodon. But I would like to see that in the Legacy Collection, things like that. I would like to see them maybe revisit some of the species they've done and either re-release them. I felt that the Pachycephalosaurus was good, but maybe re-release that so more people can get it.
You know what I want? I would like them to do a line, whether it's Legacy or not, or just something exclusive, where they bring back the Kenner logo. They make the packaging seem like it's the 90s, and they release some classic Jurassic stuff in the style, in the vibe of original Kenner material. So
that'd be really cool.
Come on, you walk down Toys R Us, you walk down Walmart right now, all you see is like Ghostbusters with the Kenner logo on. Literally, I'm seeing like the real Ghostbusters Ecto stuff with Kenner logos on it, and the same with all the Star Wars stuff. And they're bringing back the carded, whether it's Reaction or whether it's just Hasbro bringing back the Kenner logo. It's just really cool to see, and that's something I think the Jurassic, Kenner's biggest line, one of them's got to be Jurassic, right?
Oh, absolutely. Jurassic was huge.
So bring that classic back, but I guess I don't know if they can.
Outside of that, that'd be really cool, but I'm not sure. But what I want more than anything is just, I felt that the Legacy Collection was oftentimes off model and off paint. So I hope that when the Legacy Collection comes back, assuming it does, it's more on model and more on paint and more on par with, well, for one thing, just their Jurassic World movie designs. When they get them right, they usually get them, like, if it's based off the movie at the same time, tied to the movie, they're pretty on model. They're pretty good. I just want to see that same level of accuracy brought to the Legacy Collection, and maybe see more species. I'm trying to think of species that, like, we don't have like a proper, easily accessible release of the JP3 male and JP3 female in Legacy Collection for the Raptors. The Pteranodons, Lost World JP3, those would be cool. Be cool to get things like even like Cretaceous.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that right now. Yeah,
a JP3 painted Ankylosaurus. I know it's not the same model, but they could probably just repaint their Ankylosaurus as it is and just give it JP3 colors, and I'd be pretty happy with that. It would be cool to get like the green Parasaurolophus. It'd be cool to get a properly sculpted. The problem is the Parasaurolophus they put out for the Jurassic World core line, it's not accurate to Jurassic Park. It's not accurate to Jurassic World. It's just not accurate, the sculpt. So I'd like to see a well sculpted Parasaurolophus, and then it to have its paint variations that we've seen in the films. I don't know. Is there what else? Like, obviously the human characters. It'd be great to get like a lot of the Lost World characters. That'd be really fun.
Time Roland Tembo had a reprisal figure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Wu. We need a Dr. Wu character from Jurassic Park. We definitely need a Dr. Wu toy. It's kind of silly that we haven't got that. As you said, Lex would be great.
Lex needs to happen.
It's long overdue for Lex.
Maybe Lex is next. Oh,
I think it has to
be. If the last Legacy Collection was the Jeep,
with
the Ford Explorer with Tim, like maybe the next figure should be a single Lex with the baby trike or something.
Honestly, we're getting down there for the characters that they could do. I think Lex,
Dr.
Wu, Dodson.
No, we can't do Dodson.
You could just make it look like the new actor that's playing him, but younger. Put him in the same
guess.
clothes as Jurassic Park. Give him the face of the new actor, but what that new actor looked like in '93. Boom, done.
You don't think they should model it off Cameron Thor?
No, probably not.
No, probably not. Not a good idea.
Why?
And I'm trying to think.
I don't want to talk about.
And then Gennaro. I think Gennaro could have a really cool box set.
Gennaro and the toilet
With a little breakaway, like
toilet. Yeah.
little breakaway shed with a toilet and the T-Rex.
Packaged up with a T-Rex. Yeah, exactly right.
Full toilet playset.
Yeah, no, I mean that sounds funny, but if you had a little like wooden looking shed that like breaks apart in half, yeah. And then there's a little toilet, and I think that could be a lot of fun.
You gotta go. Am I right?
I mean, Ray Arnold with the deleted scene with the Raptor, they can do this.
Yeah,
right.
This is so true. Yeah,
get on it.
Yeah, no, Gennaro would be very cool.
I think that was Gennaro.
I think this was
too.
I've seen Jurassic Park
a couple of times,
yeah, once or twice.
Yeah.
No, great questions. Thank you for submitting the
questions.
questions.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of ways the Legacy collection could go. I want to see it given a little bit more love. I felt like its first iteration for the standalone carded figures, it just wasn't as good as it could have been. So I do hope it comes back, and I hope it comes back strong. Maybe
vehicles as well. I'd love to see a reprisal of
Mercedes.
Yeah, some Lost World vehicles. Maybe what would be cool? I don't think any company usually does this.
A Jeep
if
with
they
a stripe.
do vehicles, they do, four-wheeled vehicles. What about the Jurassic Park 3 plane?
Okay,
I feel like an InGen helicopter would happen before that.
Yeah, that's a pretty random.
I think the only way you get the JP3 plane is if they did a play set that it was like the full fuselage after it was like kind of destroyed a little bit.
The Allen
scene.
I want
so
the
it's
full
like sort of like a
plane with Cooper figure, Nash
Cooper.
figure, and Udesky figure. Oh, Udesky needs a figure. Come on.
Oh my god, of course he does.
Udesky never got a figure. I don't.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Did he have a Jurassic Park 3 figure? He didn't.
No, I do not believe so. Yeah, no, we need to get
a military.
But we need to get the Lost World before we get to JP3 for Legacy Collection.
Not true.
Sarah Harding.
So wrong.
Sarah Harding.
Sarah Harding has a figure already.
Nick Van Owen.
He has a figure too.
Eddie Carr that can break in half. Nick Van Owen.
That's so aggressive.
With how the Dilophosaurus toy from Jurassic Park had you put it underwater and you could suck up.
Squirts.
Yeah. So you do the same with the Eddie Carr figure, but do it in fake blood. So when he rips open, gore,
it's just like
everywhere. It's just gore.
Get that gore. JurassicGore.com.
And you
don't go to that because I don't know if it's a website. So if it is,
JurassicGore.com. If not, we're buying it. There's so much opportunity, but it would be just unique if they would do like a Jurassic Park 3 plane, the set that can crumble or something. I don't know. Maybe the pieces can come apart, and inside.
I'd like to see a new Spinosaur. I felt that their Spinosaurus toy wasn't that good.
Yeah, and the paint was totally wrong. If they were trying to get the Jurassic Park 3 paint job,
it looked like a young adult Spinosaurus because the tail was too short, the head was too big, and the sail was too short, and then its limbs were like too big, so it gave it that
fit it in the box though.
They gave it that sort of gangly look, but just do what they've done with all the other ones and have the tail a separate piece.
Scale it down.
Yeah. Or just put it in the large. They put it in the small box is the thing. They have T-Rexes in boxes that are a lot larger than the Spinosaur. They could make a Spinosaur in the same scale as their larger T-Rex and in about the same design style, and that would be good enough. I just don't think their Spinosaur is on model. It's
so
odd.
the Apatosaurus toy I got sent for Beyond the Gates, and to film some of that. I didn't realize that you can't take it apart and put it back in the box. So now I have a giant Apatosaurus that I don't want.
I'll take it, man. I want that.
Yeah, you can have it, man. But
good luck getting it, though.
Because
it's
huge. It's fine.
It's like 3.5 foot long.
You got an F-150. Will it fit in the back of that? I don't know.
I think the cab's got it. It's not a big deal.
Jack, where do you have it?
It's where I film. It's just like on the floor.
It's like just chilling. Yeah.
I was like trying to put it back in the box. I can't get it all back. And then I was
once you assemble it, it's not unassemblable.
They're very big.
Yeah. It is a large.
It's a big boy. Yeah.
It's a cool. I would have gone wild over that, like at Christmas during as a kid.
Yeah,
like getting that and putting it together, and having this giant. Yeah.
That'd be such a cool thing.
I'm glad that that's an experience that kids today can have because that they're going to be super nostalgic for that in like 20 years.
I have to admit, like when I was a kid, the stuff that Mattel is coming out with now is the stuff that I wish we'd gotten as kids. And obviously, because where I lived in the world and stuff, it was very hard to actually obtain Jurassic Park collectibles. Really hard to find them. They were very rarely on the shelves. I only remember a very limited run of Jurassic Park 3 toys, which was Alan Grant, season 1, series 1, the military general guy,
Yeah, classic.
Amanda Kirby, Paul Kirby, Eric,
Very rare now
and
these days.
the helicopter. And that was all I ever saw. Never saw the Jeep. I got the Jeep, the yellow random Jeep.
No React Attack dinosaurs?
No React Attack, no.
As we can see,
that's absurd.
As
It
we
is
can see,
absurd.
though, that Jeep does sort of seem reminiscent of some of John Bell's concepts that he's shared.
Yeah, so the JP3 Jeep is so weird, the net trapper kind of thing.
Yeah, it's obviously based off of just a different
I
script
got that in
and a different
France,
story
I think.
idea.
I saw that in France years after Jurassic Park 3 came
Gotta
out.
love Jurassic Park 3 still. Like,
Oh, I know, it's such an
I gotta
era,
find
isn't
some like
it?
classic stuff. There's nothing around me right now.
It makes
like,
me want
goddamn.
some of the classic stuff now. Like, I want to go back and be like, well, I should try and buy my collection back. I want to relive in that Jurassic Park 3 time zone. But
I would
just
never
imagine,
steal my Jurassic Park 3 stuff, man. How dare you?
Well, just imagine, like, what the Jurassic Park 4, if it had happened in 2005. Imagine what the toy line would have been like.
Toy line, the tie-ins, like Burger King and stuff, it would have been intense.
Well,
Yeah,
it would have
I think
been.
about that a lot.
When did Star Wars Episode 3 come out?
2005.
Okay, then yeah, it would have been a really good toy line.
Yeah, it would have been a fun time.
Is that when
'Cause
Hasbro were busting out?
That's
some of their
like
best?
when I think Episode 3 was like one of their best lines. Like that's when they started adding a ton of
Oh
articulation.
my god, I bought so much of the Star
So
Wars
they
Episode
put
3
so much
toys.
detail and so much
Wow.
articulation into their
That makes
toys.
sense.
Yeah.
That's the thing, because Hasbro lost the Jurassic World license, and rightly so. But now, every time I see something Hasbro's doing now, I'm like, well, I kind of wish they had the license back. There's a part of me that's like,
No. Mattel's
oh,
much
come
better
on.
for
The Star Wars Black Series, man.
Yeah,
Look
but
at that stuff.
The Amber series is not bad. Like the Pteranodon's great.
Yeah,
the Pteranodon is great.
Pteranodon
The
is
Pteranodon
great.
is
Yeah.
great.
That's what I have.
Absolutely.
It's the best
But-
one.
Look at the Lost World T-Rex, the baby T-Rex.
Yeah, it's not good.
I haven't seen it. It's the
Yeah.
only
It's
thing
bad,
I've ever
man.
seen.
It's bad.
It's
How is this?
The
but,
Pteranodon is genuinely the thing
the
that made
truth
me
of the
want to
matter
get
I
it.
is
love it, man. I love this.
the
thing,
truth
man.
of the matter is when you look at the $20 price point for like the Amber Collection humans, and then you look at some of their competitors, they still have some improvements to do. There's no
the Ian
denying
Malcolm
that.
doesn't look great.
There's no denying that there's
Black Series has just nailed it. And then
but
if you
it just even the
Hasbro
core
are
toy
doing
line,
the Ghostbusters figures, and I keep seeing them very, very,
very good. They're
but
very
they're
good.
so good, and it
And
just
the thing
is
is
odd
when
to
you
me that
see how-
Hasbro was so bad at Jurassic World that they actually lost the license over it.
yeah.
and then now they're just so good, and it's kind of painful to see, because there was that whole era of Hasbro trying to release Jurassic stuff, and it was always half baked because they had nothing to work with, and then it was like, well, we need to re-release some repaints again. And
But what I will say is, you look back at some of those repaints, and it's like, man, I did not appreciate how good that paint. Not only I did not appreciate how artistically good that paint is, but how much paint was on it. Like you just look back and you're like, oh,
Colors for days.
Yeah.
it's a lot
still
better
drying
than
to this day, those toys still drying.
it's a lot better
Still
than
wet.
I thought. You know, like some of those look really, really nice. Yeah, like the JP3 repaints that came out in 2009.
Yeah, those ones are cool. I mean, there's such a
Oh yeah, I
there's
have
such a
some of those.
varied release for Jurassic toys after JP3, but some of them are so rare. I mean, if you look at the 2009 toy line, that's hard to like. Asees sent me one of the 2009 Aloe or the other one, and it never
Oh
came.
fuck! Right, that's right.
Never came.
What?
Remember that? You remember that?
Oh, dude,
And then
think
I
the
remember
Allosaur, man.
buying the Bull T-Rex Lost World repaint on eBay, and it never came. And the seller got suspended, and I was like, I lost loads of money on it.
I
And-
lost my Allosaur to the mail. I totally forgot about this.
You remember this? You sent me that.
Yeah, I sent you the Allosaur.
Never came.
That sucks, dude. That thing's really cool.
Yeah, it's
Those
honestly
those two dinos were really
the
cool. The fact that
Allosaurus
they
is
repainted
probably
their
the
Bull
best Jurassic
T-Rex
Park
is
/
awesome.
Jurassic World toy. Its level
That
of
packaging,
detail.
2009 packaging.
Oh,
God, it's so cool, man. The G.I. Joe figure kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Jack, you know what I
Wow.
have? I have a mint in box CamoXtreme Arctic T-Rex.
Oh my god, I'll buy that off you right now.
Yeah. How much? How much?
CamoXtreme. Yeah, I got one of those. I do have
How
one
much?
of those.
I'll buy it off
Prove
you
it.
right now.
If
Prove
you're
it.
not
Where's the
familiar
proof?
with
He's not
No, I am
proving it,
familiar
guys.
with it.
if you're not familiar with the for people listening, CamoXtreme was a line that it got canceled, but it was coming out. It was like an extended wave where the dinosaurs were like
Oh, he's getting
genetically
up, he's
engineered
moving.
for different environments, and CamoXtreme had like the Arctic and desert and different dinosaurs and whatnot. But yeah, it did end up getting canceled, unfortunately.
The Arctic
And,
They
T-Rex is
became
my
very
all-time
rare,
favorite
didn't they?
Jurassic Park.
They
toy.
became
Arctic Rex. They had desert. Was
Red-
it Desert Spino?
Desert
Yeah, it
Spino.
was,
Never.
no, it was Jungle Spino.
There's only
Jungle Spino.
one
They
Desert
had a Desert
Spino
Rex. They had a Desert
known.
Rex.
That
Desert Raptor.
oh,
as
Ultra
well?
Canyon T-Rex. That's the one that got widely
Yeah,
released.
Canyon Rex.
Actually, that's the one that was like super
Oh
rare.
my God, Chris!
Oof, look at it.
Chris.
Ooh.
Chris, I need this,
Hello, buddy. How much, Chris?
dude. Right now, I'm telling you, $300 right now.
I'll give you 4.
No joke. I'll do 5,
4.
dude.
Look
5
at that.
Canadian. 5 Canadian.
Look at that.
Dude,
That is mint as well. Why are you touching it with your hands?
yeah, Chris, put your gloves on, you idiot.
What are you doing?
Chris, I'm not even
The
kidding.
sound
you, $300.
is from 2001.
Dude, that's so shiny. How did you get that?
How did you get that?
It was given to me
By who?
by somebody that stopped collecting.
What does that mean?
'Cause, yeah, it does sound like I killed them, doesn't it?
I didn't give it to you, bud.
Dude, Christopher, listen to me. $300. I'll buy that off you.
400 Canadian.
Dude, I'm not even kidding.
I think she's gonna stay in my closet. Not my closet. My
what the
display.
hell?
My display. Oh, look, even the you can see the whatever down
Dude,
there as well.
It hurts to see him touching it with his bare
Yeah,
hands.
stop touching it.
Yeah, you were eating wings before. What's going on?
You were eating wings.
We're touching an Arctic T-Rex.
God,
It's
that's
white.
mint. Chris, you need to get that protected. You need that in some. That's worth a few bob, if
Chris.
I say so.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous, dude. That's my
Yeah, what else
all-time
you got,
favorite
bud?
Jurassic toy.
Chris has a Night Hunter.
I don't have a
unreleased
Night Hunter.
Chaos Effect Night Hunter.
I
movie.
don't have a Night Hunter, but for some reason there must have been like so there was a tweet about a Night Hunter toy that I had done way back, and then there must have been a tweet that got deleted because then there's like a follow-up reply of me saying like, yeah, I got it for $7 on eBay, and Jack and I were like, what? And it must have been like referring to something else, but the tweet's gone now, so like I don't know. But Jack and I were looking at this tweet, and Jack's like, Chris, you had a Night Hunter toy. I'm like, do I? I was like looking at the tweet. I'm like, it looks like I am saying I own this. Like, I don't think I own this. No,
I think that's the thing. He didn't. I didn't know you owned that Snow Rex, the Ice Rex, whatever it's called.
I can't believe the electronics still work.
Where is it? Where'd you?
I can't believe you won't sell this to me for $300.
It's in my one display cabinet. It's next to the demon.
Okay, it is in the display cabinet.
Yeah,
okay.
it's next to the demon Carnotaurus. And
See, so I know how to get in Chris's house without.
Okay, yeah,
keys,
I was gonna say you and I should like.
in the 2011. It's next to
the.
the 2011 Ostriker, the JP4 like Ostriker vehicle, the engine vehicle.
I forgot you had that too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not fair.
those are my like.
It's not fair. Why does he have the Arctic Rex? That's not fair.
Arctic Rex, that's the one. Yeah, they go for high prices now. If
That's
you do
absolute
find them on
bullshit.
Yeah, I wish. I also have a Night Raptor. Again, it was given to me, but it was slightly chewed on by a dog. So that one's not as
Not as
What
well.
the hell?
I would love to have a Jungle Rex. And it's unfortunate that we never got pictures of the lava pteranodon.
Wow.
That was it. Lava, yeah. No, the CamoXtreme is such an interesting one because it was
It's
like
very
Hasbro
cool.
really
Kind of like
experimenting.
Chaos Effect.
Yeah,
It
it's
really
like a
was,
similar idea, but it's
It's a very cool
environmentally
thing.
themed dinosaurs.
Very
I love
cool
it.
thing.
With all the repaints that Mattel does, it bums me out that Mattel doesn't theme their repaints. That we don't get things like, a desert Spino or whatever from Mattel. Like they do so many repaints, just give them a little bit. That's something that I would like to do, is see some thematic, see some like not real canon, but like Mattel canon thematic like reasoning and characterizations of the dinosaurs. So like we can have like the jungle raptors, or like the high plains
Iceberg Steel
high
Jim
plains
Burgers.
Arctic raptors. I think that would just be a lot of fun.
Raptors.
Chilean
Chilean.
Raptors. That's my favorite dish of all time. Chilean Raptor.
Mm-hmm.
Look for the mark of Jurassic Park.
JP3. If it's not Jurassic Park 3, it's extinct.
Yeah, the packaging's 2001, so yeah, this was 2001. I can't believe the
hate you
batteries
so
still work.
much.
20 years old and the batteries still work.
Give it to Asees. $300.
Let me buy it off you, dude. Stop pressing the button. You're gonna kill the batteries.
Oh, that is a great place to end. Guys, thank you for joining the podcast. It's been great speaking with you. And Chris, don't you dare hold out on your collection any longer. Asees wants to buy the Arctic Rex, so you should let him. He's asked politely.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah. You have to share your collection. When you're done playing with it, let Asees play with it, okay?
Yes, please.
Always.
Stay tuned. So the I guess we do the call outs. The InGeneral is now on its own unique YouTube channel, which you'll find links for in the description. If not, everybody knows how to use YouTube, and if you don't, I mean, who the hell are you? Just stop listening now, because get out.
Well, subscribe first, then stop.
Yeah. Well, subscribe. Make some dummy accounts. Subscribe on there, and but seriously, the InGeneral podcast is there, so you'll find.
Yeah, it's sort of getting a reboot, from the new home, so it does need some love.
Just touching it with his bare hands. I don't like this. Chris is touching rare merch with his sticky wing hands.
Put it back in the vacuum sealed box, please.
Yeah, please look after it for Asees when he comes around to buy it.
Yeah, take care of it for me, man.
Yeah, look after it. Put a little fan on it. Make sure it's not too hot.
And he sends us 2 pictures in the group chat of the damn animal.
It's not fair.
It looks so good, man.
You should put it in compromising positions, Chris, and send that to Asees.
Not fair. Not fair. Oh my god, this is not fair.
That is ridiculous.
That picture will never see the light of day.
Okay, guys, seriously, thanks for joining. InGeneral podcast, subscribe on YouTube. You'll find links in the description wherever you're listening. There'll be links to something. If not, head to JurassicOutpost.com/podcast and you'll find all the listening options. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean, other ones, another one, 3 more, and also YouTube. So yeah,
cool.
Head there. And thank you for listening as always. This has been the InGeneral podcast. I've been Jack, he's been Asees, and he's been Chris.
Goodbye.
Crit.
Goodbye, Crit. All right, till next time.